All right, so this video is a little bit later in the day, but there's a couple things I would like to touch on. First, we're going to talk about this descending triangle that I had talked about in the last video. So, um, whenever I did that video, we were here. It was, I believe it was the 16th. This candle was forming. We hadn't yet got this new candle. So, what we saw here was you know, at the time I did the video, I was like, okay, so it's a little bit, we had the break, and if that day closed, then I had did here. So if we broke here, that the target area was somewhere around like 25, right? 25, 26,000. So that came through. We came back up. We're kind of in this candle. I mean, in this formation, and then it broke, right? And then this was so we started the new day this afternoon at 7 Central Standard Time. But this was basically the Wednesday candle, right? And this is the Tuesday candle. So Monday it dipped down. Tuesday we got the low, right? So like 29.3 we got a low. Now it wasn't lower than this low back on the 23rd, but I also did say in that video that the weekly, what I was looking at was I was looking at if we closed below this low, that we would probably go lower, right? And the low for this prior week was 31.25. So we did close, we have our moving averages going down. We closed below the 2 week low, the prior 2 week low. So that's really bearish. Now we did fall. So, but today there was a conference. It was Jack Dorsey. It was on the website, the B Word. So it's a Bitcoin. It was a Bitcoin conference basically. So okay, it was Kathy Wood, Jack Dorsey, and Elon Musk, and I guess there really wasn't like any talks about what they were going to cover. I forget who the moderator was, but it was basically like the moderator asked questions on how they felt on specific views, basically energy consumption, adoption. I mean, you can go on the bword.org, and the presentation was live, and I think it's still on there. Uh, but what was interesting, no one really knew what was gonna, basically, whenever I looked into it, it was like, okay, Kathleen and our Kathy Wood and Jack are gonna like dunk on Elon, right? They're gonna all his energy FUD that he talked about, and potentially adding big, having Bitcoin have bigger blocks, and no one's gonna run a node, so we don't need to necessarily keep the blocks the size that they are, which is something that he had mentioned, that he didn't think that the common consumer was gonna run a node, and so, but they really didn't. I mean, it was yeah, I mean, some Bitcoiners, if they would have had different Bitcoiners there, would have probably really maybe been a little bit more confrontational with Elon. But basically, I mean, it was a good conversation. They presented their points. I don't think anyone went. I don't think they changed his mind. They did mention Kathy Wood did mention her research that she had did that Bitcoin was 50%. That used more than by their research that it used more than 50% renewables, and Elon had made the tweet that as soon as Bitcoin had more than 50% renewables, that Tesla would accept it again. No one bought a Tesla with Bitcoin, by the way. In that whole, what is it? It was a couple of weeks. It really wasn't. I don't think it was more than 2 or 3 months. But nobody had bought a Tesla with Bitcoin. They didn't sell not one. Where a customer paid with Bitcoin. So it's not like they were, there was no incentive there. No one was buying them with Bitcoin anyway. So she did mention that her research showed that there was about 50%. Elon basically said kindly that they would have to relook at those numbers themselves. But, it was like, I mean, the biggest announcement really was there was always some speculation that SpaceX held Bitcoin on their balance sheet since Tesla did, and Elon he didn't directly address it. It was just kind of talking, and he said, Tesla, SpaceX, and personally, he also holds Bitcoin. So that talk happened. So, I mean, I wanted to talk about this descending triangle. Yeah, it formed, and then we basically, it kind of just like went there. It didn't reach the target. All chart formations. Oh, it looks even better on the 4 hour. As far as test points, they don't necessarily, they don't always have to reach their targets. There is some TD sequential areas here that were from past TD9s, and we went below it, and then we retested. And I actually liked the price action that happened. Doesn't necessarily mean that was the bottom, and now we're going back to all-time highs. We're going to go well above 60,000. But the price action that I saw today was actually really good, and I liked the movement that we got. So this didn't form. This didn't complete. We're already back in the triangle. Is there any way that this can be redrawn? Maybe down here as a larger triangle? I mean, not really. I mean, there is a bunch of touch points here, but I'm kind of just reaching right now, and that's one thing. I mean, I guess I could. I technically could potentially maybe put it here. I mean, this isn't a point. This went below it. You could draw it a little bit steeper. I mean, I guess you technically could. Right? You could draw it a little bit steeper. You can extend this out. But now I'm just moving the goalpost, right? Which is something you never try to really do in trading. If a chart pattern fails and it fails, it wasn't there, use something else. Yeah, this kind of fits. And it is stopping here. I mean, I can leave this there. The height of this is probably a little bit steeper now, right? It would be more up here. But again, like I said, I'm moving the goalpost, right? So it fits. Okay, I wasn't wrong. I just drew it incorrectly. Or it's actually a bigger pattern. It's not this small pattern. It's part of a larger. It's not this small little pattern that I had before. It's part of a larger pattern, right? So now I have essentially two touches here. I mean, maybe you can call that a touch. It went below it and went back above it. I mean, we could leave it, but its significance is definitely decreasing. Even if I do leave it and say this is the new pattern, but let me try to grab this. I'll hide this all together. So what I wanted to show, though, was the TD sequential retest. So we had this 9, and then we had the 8. And this candle, this is a big candle. We went up 7%, almost 8%, a total move of a little over $2,300. So that's a pretty big candle. I really was saying, oh man, like I said, okay, so the conference started at 1. So we had a move up to back up to 30. And then the conference started, this is 4 o'clock. We had this big move, 31. And then right here is when the conference started. And you see a candle basically minutes after Elon says that SpaceX holds Bitcoin. It shoots all the way up to 32,825, and then, it faded out. And we have this 9. It didn't get retested. We can pull up the CMF and see what that looks like. It was building the whole way through. Even as we were going lower, we're getting this bullish divergence. So it's like it was just a matter of time. Even on the 4 hour, you were getting the bullish divergence here, which shows that there's more net buyers. And then here we broke out. We broke above this prior level. We've come back down. That's a reversal candle, but we regained our momentum on the daily. So let's get back to what I was saying. So this was formulating to be a 9, and if it closes at a 9, yeah, that can be 1 to 4 candle correction. And yes, all 9s don't get back tested, but in my experience in trading, there's high probability, especially with Bitcoin, that they go back and they get retested. And it's something I probably need to try to go back and back test and see how often that actually happens in the time frame, based on each time frame, how long it takes to get back there. Because I've got to say, historically, there probably isn't many that didn't get back tested. There's definitely a lot more that did get back tested. Or I shouldn't say back tested, retested. So this one, we had the 9, we had the jump, but we didn't retest it with a green number. And you're not going to find this logic of TD sequential in a TD sequential book. It's something that I noticed since I've been trading. So we had the 9. Yeah, it was nice movement, but I'm like, man, we never went back down and properly retested this and have good consolidation. So this was forming to be a 9. But we had good price movement. I mean, yeah, we had been going down so much. The RSI, I believe, was pretty low. It was going low. I know on the 4 hour, it pretty much got to oversold. And then on the hourly, man, I mean, it's just been getting so beat up. Like oversold, oversold, oversold. Like it's just for the past like month and a half, 2 months, it's just oversold, oversold. I haven't seen it this oversold on the hourly in so long. Just like this sell off was just huge. But anyway, we're getting CMF going up, our RSI is going up, his price is going flat. So that showed that there's a lot of momentum getting built up, and then we get this big candle, and then now we're back up. So I'm not saying this is a full reversal, and now we're going back up, but we got the first signs of a potential recovery in price action. And I'm saying this because we had this red 9 get retested with a green 1. That's good. So I can take this off my chart. We have the 4-hour one, which was back here from June 26th. That got retested. You know, we didn't get retested with a green number. Almost did. It missed it by like $125. Or 100, yeah, 124.50. So yeah, I mean that's small on an asset that's 30,000, but I still marked it on the 4 hour. I don't mark the ones on the hourly. I find that the daily, weekly, and 4 hour are way more valuable as far as retest areas. So that didn't get retested. We finally retested it with a green run, so I can take that off. I don't have to worry about that anymore. The only one that's left from this area is the weekly. Now we do have a reversal candle here, and it's a 5. It's okay for us to bottom on a 5. If I look back at the capitulation back in 2018 in December, the weekly, it actually marked on a 5, I believe. Yeah, on the 5. The low was 31.28. That was a 5. It didn't. I mean, we don't necessarily have to, bottom out on a red 9. I mean, here's my logic too. Whenever I said red 9, it didn't get retested with a green number. Went up, yeah, people probably were super excited. It went as low as 6,000, and then we went all the way back up to basically 8,500, and then finally, it didn't get retested here, didn't get retested here. We had the capitulation. When did it get retested? Wow, is this one not getting? Oh, this one hasn't been retested, looks like, but it's not going back down there. It hasn't gotten retested with a green number unless it did back here. It didn't. Let me draw a line here. Nope, never got retested. That's probably on my chart too still. But that's okay. We still went back below it. We didn't quite catch it with a green number. I mean, this technically is a green number because it's a continuation, but I usually don't mark those. But anyway, as you can see, there's still high probability that price goes back below it. Yeah, I didn't get my exact green number. It ran up, and then we went back below it again. We didn't quite get the green number, but I mean, it still shows that high probability of it getting retested in the future, and it did actually. One, kind of, we broke out here 2, 3 times. We saw the price action. So yeah, I mean, I do have one marked here at 19.5. Are we going to go there? I don't think we will. Our probability of getting here, we do have this candle. Could we reach these mid 25,000s? We could, but we're getting good price action. This looks like a reversal candle. I always had the firm belief that we weren't. Yeah, we had the moving averages saying that if we continued down, that the moving averages did tell us to get out. They told us to get out right here, right when this happened, right here, all the way back in May, at a price of 35. If you would have waited till the close, 35, that told you to get out 100%. If you would have been waited for the weekly one, but the daily one, I mean, that happened. That told you to get out much sooner. Probably somewhere around here, if I remember correctly, somewhere around like 50,000. And then you had the pi cycle indicator that told you to get out as well. So anyway, we're looking at this. Our moving averages haven't started to trend up yet. If I'm looking for, I'm going to hide these. If I'm looking for an entry, I'm going to be patient, wait for my price action to go up. Yes, we have a reversal candle. Yes, we can rally back up. Yes, we cleared out some of these retest areas. Now, if the weekly closes, we can get this to turn into a green one. For that to happen, price would have to close above 34,709. That can still happen. We still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, basically 4 days to get there, 3 to 4 days to get there. It can happen. We can look at our funding rates. Let's see. Oh, what's doing? I don't have, because I have more than. So our funding rates, negative, that's good. It did turn positive, I think, at one point. Negative, that's still good. Right here, it went positive. We did get a reversal candle, went negative. Now that it's net negative, but on the hourly, it did go positive here. That was shortly after that meeting, after the live presentation during the conference. Price, kind of came back and was now net negative. I'll pull up the CMF again. I had it up. That's still staying above the levels. 4 hours still there. I really wish it would have found support here. We did get a reversal candle that we've kind of overcome on the daily. It needs to really not go back below this area right here. This, point, negative 0.1 needs to stay above. We went last week below. It's 0.01. It really needs to stay above this 0. Whenever it goes below this, this isn't really good right here. We bounced and then we finally crashed below it. So maybe we can do some of this, move sideways, and then we would have to have sustained price action. But don't really want that to crash below it, because then, we're obviously then going to hit these lower levels. And that we have Fibonacci here and we have this, but doesn't mean we can't wick below the Fibonacci and then find support. So that's knocked out. And I want to highlight one more thing on the triple MA. We keep on getting rejected basically by this 30 MA. We got rejected here, kind of here, and maybe a little bit here. My next thing I'm looking for is for us to close above this 30 MA. So that's right now it's around 33, say 33.2. We need to get there. It's not that much of a move from here. We need to get there, close above there, and then we'll look at potentially this upper target, this 42.3. So that's all I'm looking at right now. Hash ribbons, that's not going to recover for a while. It's going to take months to recover. I would say probably, it's a 30 and 60 MA hash rate moving average. So we've gone so negative. That's going to take, months to recover. Probably a month and a half to 3 months to recover, to potentially get across, which would indicate a buy signal. What else we have? We can look at the Ichimoku cloud. That probably looks like something that's developing okay, probably on the 4 hour. It is. We're getting resistance here. We need to get above this cloud. This cloud needs to turn green. On the hourly, we're finding support here. It could go into this cross. Weekly, and we could move sideways and start to find support here and move up. So what's my outlook? My outlook is we're looking for a potential reversal. Where's our Lucid SARs? It's something I haven't looked up in a while. We're way behind them. Yeah, daily we broke down. We need to get back above this. So we need to find support here. We need to get good price action. Our next area of probably resistance is going to be this Fibonacci level here, where we found 34,000, which was our support basically on the weekly for the past since May 17th, the week of May 17th. We need to get back above there. So we're looking for a 33.2, and then we need to close. I would like to see this turn into a green one. to close above 34,709. But I think there's going to be resistance at 34. So I think once we hit 34, if we can get there, we first got to get past 32.3 or 30. What did I say? 32.2. Where are we at? Yeah, I'd say 33.2. Right here. Right around 30. Yeah, 33.2 is what I said. 33.2. So we need to get above that. Because that's where my moving out. I don't want to pull up the code. Because that's where my moving average is. Yeah, 33.2. And that's also where the TD sequential is basically going to say there's resistance. So we really need to close there above that. That's the first one, 33.2, and the next one's going to be 34. And if we can get there, and then if we can really close the week out above 34.07, say we get 34.8, that would be awesome. That'd be a huge rally, reversal candle. We get a red one, we get a green one, which means we've retested all this support that we found there. And then I really think we'll get our moving averages start to flatten out. And we'll get some good price action. Maybe we get a little bit of a pullback in there. Where's our Bollinger Band? Our Bollinger Band is at 35, so we can definitely go there. The 20 MA is 32.8. We can definitely get there over the next 3 days, I think. Yeah, we can definitely get there. Where are we at on the 4 hour? We're on the upper end. The hourly, we're probably out. We're condensing again. So that's it. I want to cover, I mean, this is going over, but I want to cover oil real quick. We did get some price movement in oil. We had a daily. We finally retested that one. That's clean, and that's out of here. And then the weekly we retested as well. We didn't quite retest it. We can get some consolidation here, but here's something I want to highlight. We had this historical pattern that's been playing out since 2008. We finally broke above it, but then we came back. Price of oil went down, and look where it retested it. It retested it right where the historical trend line is, but on the downside, it acted as support and massive support. So I think this is actually a good sign. Did we get there? Oh, we did get there. So we've I know, because it's flip-flopping back and forth. Price is close to here. Whenever I just looked at it, price was probably above 34.05. No, I don't think it was. Anyway, we've retested it. I'm going to wait for the week to close, and then I can clean this up. So we've retested the 9 here. We've retested the one on the daily as well here. I think CMF's probably good on it. We are getting momentum. If this breaks out, that's actually good for oil. So we've done everything. We've retested the breakout. We've retested the 9. We've retested the weekly. This is a reversal candle. If this closes green, that's even more bullish. This will look good for oil to go higher. So I wanted to clean that up. And then we had gold. Looked good, and then it kind of faded in like a day or two. But again, we retested some areas, right? So I marked a 9. So we have a 9, 1 to 4 candle correction. Where could that have gone based on TD sequential? We're looking at, let me grab a line. So we're here, and then we're looking at 1, 2, basically 3, and then 4. So we went a little bit lower. It did kind of find support and resistance there, but really the breakdown, if you're in a position for oil, is really here, right? I mean, that's a larger, with respect to oil, that if you bought here, yeah, you wouldn't want it to go down 3 or 4% before you got out. But that's basically where, I mean, you can see here, found support. So if it breaks below this, then it's going lower. Our moving averages are, this is on the daily. Let's look at the weekly. So our moving averages are okay. We do have a cross here. You could have allocated a position, and I did, around 50%. This is a reversal candle, but hey, we're not quite out. We're gonna hold in. We're gonna stay in this, see where we get. As far as price movement goes, this isn't showing me stuff on the. I think it shows me. Yeah, so it shows me. We had some CMF here, that bullish divergence. We're kind of just moving with price. I don't see really any patterns to look out for. I mean, this could be a cup and handle. So I'm kind of just wanting to clean up some of my charts, and I might as well just do it here. So looking at gold, I'm kind of just, waiting to see what's going to happen here. We need to break above this TD9 that we had, green candle above a prior green candle above the 9. And then we'll find resistance. We'll definitely find resistance here, right around 1900. So I think that's it. This has gone more than long enough. Appreciate it, and thanks for watching.